All those Black Friday discounts, they are just whining us. So I cannot leave my country, my family and loved ones back home and come and be earning peanuts in this country. They won't tell you that for the first like 2 years, you will still be paying interest on top of the car. This service for my Toronto people. One truth we need to tell ourselves is that you can be abroad and still be broke. Most people assume that once you leave your country and move to countries like Canada, UK, and so on, automatically you become rich. But the truth is that there are lots of people that have lived abroad for many years until today, they're still struggling financially. Yes, the economy plays a major role in this, but it could also be due to some decisions that have been made without thinking of financial impacts. In this video, I'll be sharing some practical things you need to avoid to prevent you from being broke abroad. The first thing is to avoid staying in survival jobs for too long. Yes, survival jobs are very normal when you come abroad. Most of the time, as new immigrants, you're not thinking of getting the best job. The major thing is, oh, I just want to get a survival job that will pay the bills, that will feed us, that will give us a shelter. And sometimes we might get carried away and say, after all, this is giving me something. Let me just stay on this job, forgetting the fact that there are other factors. Cost of living has increased drastically as compared to when my family and I just moved to Canada. You're not upskilling, you're not developing yourself, because the way survival jobs are, that's why they are called survival jobs. They're only meant to stabilize you for a short time. I know some people that will say, I cannot leave my country, my family and loved ones back home and come and be earning peanuts in this country. No, I will do everything it takes to be rich. There are lots of bills, and if you notice it here, the way we normally paid rent back home is different from here. A lot of money. I think housing even takes like a majority of your income, aside from taxes. You know, we are in a credit-based society. It's celebrated, it's encouraged. And if you're not careful, you just be spending and spending and spending. And there are some people that are fond of spending on the cards and paying only the bare minimum. See, you can be owing like $1,500 and you will be seeing minimum payments, $10. If you know that you have an expense that is way more than your income, it means you shouldn't be spending that amount in the first place, because you should be able to pay up to how much you are owing and still have a little change. I know that there may be situations where you have to pay above that, but avoid making it an habit, because that's the money you're meant to save. You're already using it to pay back interest. At first, it will not seem like a big deal, but before you know it, you'll just be piling and piling and piling up until it will almost choke someone. Don't buy a car or house without proper planning. Please, I need to repeat this for those at the back. Please, don't buy a car or house without proper planning. Because every 2 weeks, when you see that debit alert, it will be affecting you. Be like, oh. One thing about these people is that you don't have all the information. No. Let me give an example. You want to buy a car. You are seeing the cars. Oh, they are so beautiful. They are telling you about the interest. They won't tell you that for the first like 2 years, you will still be paying interest on top of the car without paying the price of the car. By the time you start paying money for the car safe, the car has depreciated. And every 2 weeks, you are being charged like $350 from your paycheck. Or you buy a house and they're telling you, oh, drop down payments. You've forgotten that you pay for taxes. You've forgotten that you're going to buy appliances like furniture, washing machine, fridge inside the house. You've forgotten that you're going to pay bills like water, electricity. Sit down and plan properly before you take that step of either buying a car or a house. Living in expensive cities without a plan. This service for my Toronto people. The thing is, I feel back home when you say, oh, I'm going abroad. It's like Toronto is the first place in this Canada. And I'm not even talking to only Canada people. But in Canada, it's like everybody is going to Toronto. My husband said it then that, see, I'm not going to Toronto. Why is everybody always saying Toronto, Toronto? For those that are in Canada and are watching my videos, most likely you're already living somewhere, obviously. But what I would suggest is that if you know that the standard of living where you are is expensive, it's not too late to move. You can start applying to jobs. I've seen people apply to jobs in other places, and when they got a job, they moved, then their family moved with them. Because there are some places that they are so beautiful, but when you think of the cost, you have to weigh the pros and cons. Imagine this scenario now. Someone is living in BC, British Columbia. It's rich people that are living there. I think from what I heard, their rent is like double the rent of Alberta here. And even our Bataille is more expensive than some places. So imagine you earning income and the only thing you are paying is rent. If that's the only place you are able to get a job, good and fine. But without proper planning on where one is going to stay, it can keep you broke. Oh. You will be earning more than someone in another province, but you wouldn't have any disposable income. So it's usually better, especially for the first 1 to 3 years when you're just starting out and you're still trying to find a balance. Think well of where you want to be based. Impulsive spending. I am guilty of this one. If I'm not guilty of any other one, that one I accept. Because you see, all those Black Friday discounts, they are just whining us. So you'll be telling yourself that if I don't buy this thing tomorrow, it will be expensive. Did you even need that thing in the first place? The funniest thing is that most things that we buy impulsively, they are things we don't need. That's why they're impulsive spending. It's not something that you plan that, oh, I need this thing, I want to get it. And I've really been working on it for the past few months, telling myself that if you don't need this thing, don't buy it, because this thing pile up over time. You buy this, you buy this, you buy this. Let me give an example. We went to the store one day and we wanted to buy something. Probably at the smaller store, they will sell it for $10. Let's now assume that we saw a bigger size and they were selling it for $8. We now bought 2 or 3. See, $8 is already $24 now. It means that instead of buying $10, you tell yourself that I'm buying like double or triple. Now, let me bust your bubble. The same period I would have eaten 1 was the same period that we used to eat 3, because everything was readily available. And it was not something we needed. We're just snacking on it. That's the way it is. You just keep buying and buying, not because you need it, but because, oh, this thing is cheap. It usually doesn't end well, and it will also make you broke abroad. Not having a proper budget is also a big no-no. Is a big risk. There are lots of pre-authorized payments here that before you open your eyes like this, pew, 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 everything has gone. My husband told me one day, he said, can I even see the budget? Can I see our budget? Like, how are we spending our money? The expenses coming out from my own account, I have the list on my notepad, but I still feel that sometimes you might be carried away with some and forget some expenses. The best thing is to have a budget and stick to it. Yes, having a budget is good, but sticking to it is the major thing. Because if you have a budget and you're not sticking to it, you're just spending money. You're spending money here, you're also sending black tax, because black tax also is making lots of people broke. I'm not saying that we should not send money home. I have family members back home, but I just think that you have to plan it. It should be part of your budget and don't exceed it. I pray that God continues to keep our family members from sickness or kidnapping or whatsoever, because once you already have a budget, on occasions probably you want to do a major thing for them at home. Yes, you know that, okay, that is a one-off thing, but ensure that you have a budget and stick to it diligently. Not having emergency savings. I was listening to Dave Ramsey. I don't know if you know him. I listened to some of his videos, and he was saying that when you're talking about investment or you're talking about saving money, it should be something that 3 to 5 years, you won't need that money. The same also applies to savings. When you are saving money, it should be something that is not affecting your current income. It's something that is only for unforeseen circumstances. And it's usually planned that, let's assume that I'm out of job tomorrow. We don't pray that something bad happens to us, but let's assume that someone loses their job, or someone is sick, or they have like something very, very urgent to attend to. And they are now saying, lend us money, this and that. It's very, very important to have emergency fund that will last you and your family for minimum of 3 to 6 months, just in case of anything. And it doesn't mean that you have to save massively. If you want to be saving every week or after every paycheck or your bonuses, just ensure that you are saving this thing and you are not touching it. You are not being tempted to touch it. At least that will not keep you broke. I'm not even talking about being rich now. I'm saying not being broke. Depending on only one source of income. See, I'm not someone that really loves business. But in recent times, I started thinking about it that living from paycheck to paycheck, I don't think is really okay. That's why you see one woman posted a video and she was saying she's in the UK, she's earning like £120,000 yearly and she's still broke. And people were chastising her and saying lots of words to her. The truth is, I don't know how she spends her money, but I feel like when you are hearing those kind of money, by the time you calculate the bills, because someone that is earning that kind of money will want to live in a mansion. So everybody will cut their coat according to their size, if you know what I mean. But where I'm going is that when you are living from paycheck to paycheck, you're already using all the money to pay the bills. Please, what do you have left? Most of the time, side hustles, they fluctuate. Today, you can have much money, tomorrow, little. So you know that one will be using to shock. You know, the days that you are broke, that one will just shock you. Business people can relate to this. I am not a business oriented person, but I think even my content is also business. And I'm really praying that my content makes more money so that I can be using that one aside also. And this brings me to the last one. Avoid not asking questions. It will go a long way. Ask questions from people that are already here. Some people, yes, I've had stories of people not willing to give information when you ask them, but I'm sure some people will be willing and able to give information. In fact, you'll be so surprised that someone that you are even thinking will not want to help you, someone you don't even know, they will be willing to give you all the information in terms of where to stay, in terms of the city, in terms of the funds, in terms of even jobs, networking with people so that you can just have a soft landing and you can be living the dream life. We're also at that age now that we need to enjoy ourselves. And our prayer is always that we are better off now than we were in the past. Not to be talking about lost glory and saying, my life was better. I pray that it will not be our portion. So we just need to do all these things. See, I can go on and on. There are different points, but I just have to summarize this. And another thing is, I have actually recorded this video before this afternoon, and I realized that I did not connect my mic to my neck. It really pained me, and I'm so exhausted. But I told myself that, see, this way that this message is burning in my heart, I just have to come back and record this video. And I hope that when I check, everything is perfect. And if you are seeing this video, it means that it turned out to be perfect eventually. In summary, avoiding all these mistakes will go a long way in helping you to build a more stable financial life abroad. If you live abroad, let me know your thoughts. Is there any other thing I missed that you think one should avoid so that one does not keep being broke abroad? If you enjoyed my video, kindly like, share, and comment. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video. Bye.